Welcome into 5-Day Crypto. My name is Chase, level 1 CMT and full-time trader. Today we're going to look at AGIX, also known as SINGULARITYNET token. I think they did well with AGIX. We'll go with that. We're going to start off on the daily chart, then we'll zoom out to the weekly. We're going to look at fib extensions. Based on that, how high could we potentially go? Checking out market caps. We're going to do all that good stuff. If you want access to our private alerts group, right, where you stay on top of everything, Bitcoin dominance, altcoin market caps, altcoin tips and tricks, everything in between, check out our Patreon group listed below. We'd be glad to have you. Check it out. All right, so let's get going. Fib extension, we'll get to that in a moment. First and foremost, on the daily chart, the Gaussian channel, that's this green and red looking thing, is turned green, and we are well above it. Could we potentially come all the way down there? Very unlikely, right? This zone right here is kind of our throwback breakout level. If we get there, we just got there today on that Bitcoin initial sell-off where Bitcoin had a little spook. A lot of altcoins had that knee-jerk reaction down, and that was a good spot. Are we going to get lower than that? Maybe not, unless Bitcoin does a more dominant role here. Altcoins might get ready to take off here relatively soon. So, also, looking at the fib extension, which we will check in a moment, let's look at a fib retrace, right? So if we go from the swing low to swing high here, not only, let's actually do it correct, not only did we come back to right the 66-cent level, which is all-time highs previously, look at the 236 on the retrace. It tagged it, near perfect. Right, 63 cents, and we've now back to the upside. We're now back at 73 cents. So could we slingshot upwards from here? Of course. So just wanted to throw that out. Now let's zoom out to the weekly. Our green Gaussian channel, good there to go, right? Peak number 1 in August 2021. Peak number 2, February 2023. Peak number 3, and the breakout just happened last week, confirming. Good time, usually, to be getting in on the breakout week, right? Or the throwback. Right now, look at that zone, that wick back down. We could potentially go back to maybe the 786. I could see 50 cents from current prices. We're looking at 30% down though, right? Unlikely unless, again, Bitcoin does a more of a sustainable rollover here. And it's iffy, right? So buying some here might not be a bad idea. Dollar cost average, usually the way to go in and out of the market. So, having said that, it's time to get to it. The fib extensions. Let's do the big one, the macro scale from our ultimate swing high to swing lows, from the bull to the bear market, right? Let's look at it. 1618 at $4. Could we potentially get there from current prices? Of course, right? Current market cap sits just under $1 billion. So to think that we can't go to, 4 or 5x from there, right? 5 billion. Of course, a lot of altcoins will do that. Certainly some that have a stronger charts. AGIX is in that category. And so looking at a 5x to the 1618, of course, we could potentially do that. How about the 2618? Could we potentially get that high? Now we're starting to get a little bit of a tall ask, right? Going all the way up there. Rough estimate that we're looking at 11,000% from current prices. Not unheard of, but the problem with that is already at $1 billion. You could do the math on that. That takes us a little bit psycho out of it. Now, do we have any chance of anything in between? I'm glad you asked, of course. So let's remove that one. And how about we go to something more, immediate, right? Let's look at the more current swing high to swing low. Right? And then we can do that. So if you're wondering how I'm doing that quickly, you can turn on magnet mode on your keyboard, right? If you hit the fib extension tool, which will pop up, you see the fib retracement, fib extension. You could do either. You don't need both, right? It's just, do you go from swing high to swing low, right? If you want to do the extension, it's swing high to swing low, and it goes that way. If you reverse it from swing low to swing high, it goes down, right? Hopefully that makes sense. Hold control down on your keyboard, and it'll go right to the wick. So you get exact, precise measurements. A little tip of the day there. All right. So having said that, now our 1618 from our local high and our local low is much more kind of attainable. And not only that, but we have a couple more levels here. So it's not always great to just look at one fib extension or retrace and not look at anything else. So looking at this one, the next area of interest is at $1.66, not too far away from current prices, right? Let's do a measured move. So right from there, we're about 2x away. So we get to, you know, $1.5 billion, 2 billion market cap. We're right there. How about a little bit higher? Okay, now we're looking at 10x from current prices. Now we're knocking on the door of 10 billion market cap. Still doable, right? And that is, you know, you're looking at a 10x from current prices. That's pretty awesome, right? How about the next level? Could we possibly make it to the 3618? Well, now we're starting to getting a little greedy here now, right? This AGIX would have to be, you know, rather important in the grand scheme of things to have a market cap this high and to do an additional 4,000% from current prices. You got to keep in mind, we've already done a significant move from, you know, the 2023 lows, right? To keep that in mind, right? 4,000% from here, current prices, but we'd be looking at, 90,000% return from the lows. That's relatively unheard of, besides Bitcoin in the early days. So keep that in mind. If someone's trying to sell you something, let's go do the market cap check real quick, right? That's an easy way to tell if they're full of BS or not, right? Check the market cap. If they're calling for $1 trillion market cap on a random altcoin, maybe not gonna happen. Okay. All right. So 90,000%, not likely from the lows. Right now, could we potentially do that from here? Right. Same thing. It looks more doable here. So be careful of what you're watching for. Right. Somewhere between, $7, $10 all the way up to maybe 20, 30. Like best case. This is like everything goes great for it. CNN's talking about it. Peter Schiff is now all in on AGIX, perhaps. Other than that, right, we'll track it along the way, but how can you not be happy with a, $1 billion market cap getting an additional 10x from here, making 10 billion? Maybe it's 20 billion, right? Maybe you do a 20x, okay? So now we're looking at maybe something right in that area, $14, $15 area. We're at 75 cents, right? After a good pump, but a breakout, could we potentially get there? Of course, right? We'll address that many more times in this cycle. So join us. If you haven't already, subscribe. Consider following us in our private silver group, and hope to see you there. Drop me a note, leave me a comment, what you want to see next. AGIX. For now, let's get to our quote of the day. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Precious. I always think of like Lord of the Rings or the movie Precious. My mind goes psycho. All right, card of the day. Rolls Royce. If you're asking what model, the expensive one. Who cares? Like, what model is this? The one that you can't afford, and if you could, why not just buy 2 Lambos, or a Lambo and a Ferrari, or two or three McLarens? Let's go with that. Too damn expensive model. It's either the Ghost or the Phantom, more likely, right? I don't know, right? It's cool. It's cool. I'd rather have a house and a Lambo for this. All right. We'll wrap it up there. I'll see you on the next one. Red shirt, white hat, chain link sign. What's not to love?